Sevarog combo. Simple but always satisfying to watch. Today we have a game of Nugzlit playing Sevarog jungle, and he's gonna kinda tell us that, well, a lot of people think that tanks are dead. I think Nugzlit beg to differ. And as usual, here we have the build order he has gone for that game. A little thing that is interesting that we can note is like in the jungle, as we can see on level 3, instead of taking the Phantom Rush, he has gone for a second level into Siphon. And if you go for a full clear in jungle, you're gonna get the level 4, which means if you don't plan on ganking before you finish your full clear, like try to prioritize abilities that actually deal damage to optimize your clear time, and that's exactly what Nugzlit has done here. Then in terms of abilities priority for Sevarog, it's pretty standard. Colossal Blow, the ultimate, into the Siphon, into Subjugate, into Phantom Rush. And here in terms of abilities, we see that we go for the Sapphire's Mantle to kind of like increase that health pool that Sevarog already have a pretty like good amount of. Also like being a bigger size can help with like a little bit more range on the Siphon. It can be interesting to have. Of course, in the jungle, Fire Blossom first to help with the clear, and then we have Hella Frost, which is also an interesting item because it offers like quite a lot of damage for tanks. And then we also have Flux Matrix and the new item Feast of Razul. And as you can see, every single of those tank items is like true a tank item, but also an item that provides damage, which kind of allow you to, as a tank, be tanky, but also still like dish out a lot of damage. Let's jump into the game. So, Nugzlit have a lot of good things about Sevarog and the jungle overall, a lot of little tips, and here we're gonna start with the first tip. For those that don't know, you can actually start your recall, and before your recall hand, you can actually like place a ward during your recall, and that doesn't cancel your recall animation. So that's a little thing if you want to gain like a little bit of precious seconds on your duration of your ward. And here we can see that Nugzlit on the Sevarog is going to start on the red buff. And so there is another thing that is very important to know about Sevarog jungle. Sevarog jungle is all about like getting like a good amount of stack for your passive Reaper of Souls. And one thing to help you with that is that actually when you use your hunt item, like it actually like provides you the stack as you were like actually like finishing a jungle monster with an ability. So you don't need to just like kind of plan your hunt before that you can finish with a Siphon. No, you can simply use your hunt, finish the red buff with it, and that's gonna give you like 5 stack for those big buffs. So it's very important to not miss them, and here that's exactly what Nugzlit is doing. Then we level up the Subjugate. As you can see, he used the Siphon on all 5 minions, then the Subjugate on all 5 minions as well, and here he's going to try to put like all the minions at the same health to try to get with one Siphon to get like all 4 little stack, but as you can see, he missed one. And here, like every single little minion is going to give you 1 stack, but the big minion of the 5 camp is 2 stack. So already Nugzlit is at 10 stack because he missed 1. And you can see also that he was waiting a little bit for Subjugate to be out of cooldown and he stopped auto-attacking. That's how important stacking in Sevarog with jungle Sevarog is. And as you can see, while you do that, then you probably like here, once again, Nugzlit waiting a little bit for his Siphon to be back to secure that stack and like a double stack again. But that's one thing that made like Sevarog very vulnerable in the jungle. As you like are forced to do this mini game of stacking, you can see how much like damage Nugzlit is taking because he wants to like eat the right minion. He doesn't want like to lose like the minion too early, and so that means that you take more damage than your usual jungler will take. Here once again we use the hunt to secure that minion. And here, like those big minions, the red and the blue, are very important to never miss. Because by themselves, like it's 5 stack by jungle monster. And the thing about Sevarog jungle is if you stack like fast, then you're gonna be tanky, but also you increase your Siphon damage. And if you increase your Siphon damage, that means that you're farming your jungle faster, but also it is easier to last hit like jungle minion because your Siphon does a lot of damage. So reaching that 40 stack threshold is very important to do it fast. And as you can see here, Nugzlit decided to go for the full jungle clear, didn't pay attention to any lane to try to get his Brimstone kind of fast and like farm as efficiently as he can his Reaper of Soul stack. Also, one thing that I didn't mention, but we mentioned earlier, is this idea of like the Siphon being leveled a second time in the level 3. Once again, if you don't plan to ganking, the Phantom Rush is not really useful, and that can help. So here, now that we come back, the 5 camp is still not up, so we're gonna look for an aggression, and here we ignore the Rictor, we go immediately for the right threat, which is like the Drongo. And as soon as we get the flash, we know we can't really like follow that up. You can maybe have gone for a dash in, more damage, but the Drongo was close to a tower, and then that was like kind of risky. Like you don't know where is the enemy jungler, maybe the enemy jungler could have like collapsed, and suddenly like it would have been a complicated fight. And that's one thing about the mentality of Nugzlit. Nugzlit is a jungler in solo queue that want to go for the guaranteed play, the guaranteed farm. Here, he go for the gank, he get the flash, that's already a W. If he had pursued that fight, maybe we get the kill, but maybe we end up like in a bad position. And that means that Nugzlit wasn't really willing to go for that. His whole jungle was up, so he decided to go for the gank. Flash has been secured, and now we're going to try to go for like something else. Here we go over with the river buff, we try to be a little bit aggressive, but as soon as his own mid laner flashed away, that means that there is nothing to be found, and so we go back to farming. Nugzlit really have this mentality of like maximizing his own farm, and like he goes for gank, like as we have seen, but only if like it's valuable and there is like guaranteed like win from it. And a win is not always a kill. Like here, getting the flash and then going back into tempo into the jungle was also like a W in a sense, because next time he come for a gank on that jungle, now the jungle doesn't have flash until 10 minutes or so. So here, as we can see, once again, like really paying attention to securing every single like minion. Sometimes he missed one here and there, but so far it's a very, very, very clean stacking game, and that's one thing you really need to go for when you're playing like with Sevarog. So you also have to be careful about like when you use your ability to not have your ability on cooldown, especially since we're going Fire Blossom, and then we have like the tick of the hunt, the tick of the Fire Blossom, which make like all the stacking even more complicated. And here we're kind of low, but we're looking like for an aggression. Unfortunately, we do miss the thing, but here we can see we got the flash, we got the Siphon coming back on cooldown, and so we're going to go for it. We level up, but thanks to the Hoarfrost, we're gonna die. And so, but still, like, we trade a 1-for-1. There was nothing to farm in the jungle, so like the downtime is not really that bad. And on top of that, we stack like the kill. So we got like the kill, and we get like some stack for the Reaper of Soul passive. Now we're back to the red side jungle, and so we're gonna start with the red that is up once again. If you remember, using your hunt to finish like the red buff will give you the stack on Sevarog jungle, so that's something that you can do, and that's exactly what Nugzlit does here. And here we're gonna not go for the 5 camp because that's the timing the enemy team is trying like to crash the wave, and immediately we go onto the Drongo, simple subjugate into Colossal Blow, we get the kill, and as you can see, like immediately Nugzlit is back into farming his 5 camp. Like he doesn't care about that Rictor. Like maybe he could have chased, but he trusts his teammate to get the kill, and so we're gonna like secure that Rictor kill anyway. And now we're back to like fully farming his old jungle. That's why like I'm speeding up a little bit the process. Once again, we pay attention to really getting like all the stack as we can, but the whole jungle is up, so we do like a full clear from like 5 camp, 2 camp, 4 camp. Blue buff is gonna spawn into 3 camp. Like really efficient on his timing and trying to get like as many stacks as he can. Still, he do find times to impact the map, but that's on the downtime of his farm or where is nearby a lane. So there is like a caveat of doing like this type of jungling is that you become kind of predictable. This is why if you play competitive gaming, it's not good to go for this type of like very predictable jungling, like as I was saying. But when you play solo queue, it's not something that people will really like pay attention too much. And here, well, we have like the contest that's used like the flower bomb here, and here we're gonna go like for the combo, and we already have finished the Sapphire's Mantle like at 9 minutes 30. And as you can see here, we're not killing, we're not auto-attacking, we're waiting, and now we're gonna secure finally the stacking. And once again, like you can see how Nugzlit is like thinking about his stacking. Like here he could have gotten the kill by auto attack, but he know also that he's like safe. Maybe he's gonna lose like 20% of his health, but losing 20% of his health to secure like 5 more stacks and keep his snowball going is actually like very important. One thing also that I like about like the way he play like the Sapphire's Mantle is every time Sapphire's Mantle is up, you're gonna see Nugzlit is just like pressing the button. he want to stack his additional health, and he also like try to like burst as fast as he can. He doesn't wait like for a specific moment or specific timing. And once again, here he saw an opportunity for aggression. He goes for it. As soon as he get the flash, let's go back to farming. And so yeah, it can be like a little bit like a boring type of play, but in solo queue it's super efficient because you're gonna start ahead of the pack. But as soon as I say that, there is something happening on dual lane, and so sometimes you still have like to drop potentially like hero camp to come, and here we're gonna go, and here once again, like he fully ignored that Richter. Richter was probably like dead, but once again, what matters is killing the jungle. And now we have killed the jungle, and now we're like back again into our own jungle. Like we don't overstay, we don't like find solution, we let the teammate like do their job. So once again, farming, trying to get like as many stack as we can. 5 camp is up, 2 camp is up. Red buff is going to respawn pretty soon, so probably we're gonna get that. Of course, like the drone sometimes love to jump to somewhere else when we watch someone, and now we're gonna go back to base. Keep working towards the Helafrost, which is his second item. A good item because like you can spam abilities, so you get like the advantage of the like the activation, like the Spayblade effect of the Helafrost, but also like the AoE damage helps with your clear as Sevarog jungle. And once again, so you have this like tankiness that also like is strong in team fight, but also helps you with your clear, which makes it like a very proficient item for Sevarog jungle. And here, as you can see, like he find a window to go like for the AWP prime, so as soon as he's respawn, he go for it, and gonna secure like the AWP prime for himself. Once again, also if you use the hunt to secure like those jungle objective, you're gonna get like more stacks, and so that helps. And as soon as the AWP mini prime is finished, we're looking to maybe like find something. Here we're gonna get like a double ward, so we're just gonna like deward them and get a little bit of golden experience from them. And as like the enemy team knows that he's around, he's not really like going to try to force like too much. First time, 13 minutes in, that's the first time we see Nugzlit like really be at the river buff. He was there earlier on the 5-minute river buff, but a little bit late. And now that we have mini prime and that we feel super strong, we're gonna go for the combo. Once again, as you can see, he used the Sapphire's Mantle very fast. Unfortunately, like the Coastal Blow go over the wall, so the contest wasn't getting killed simply by Nugzlit, but we get the long arm of the load that secure it. And here we can just like walk forward. We're very, very strong. We have the mini prime, so the tankiness is pretty insane. And now we look like, as you can see, we see that the offlane is a little bit too advanced. And so like Nugzlit is going to like pay the offlaner a visit. And so like most of the ward are gone, but we're just checking in case. And now we're gonna come. She get Orfrost on their tower. We're gonna get the Subjugate on the tower. And that's gonna be like an easy pickup. This Aura offlane unfortunately wasn't really paying attention, and so she just like, just a free pickup, but when it's a free pickup and a guaranteed one, like, feel free to go there. And so now finally we're gonna go to the jungle. Once again, you can see how like he doesn't miss a single like jungle minion when he's stacking. And that's very important. If you want, like Sevarog is all about like being ahead of the curve in terms of the stacking of the Reaper of Soul passive. Because if you're behind the curve, like I said, your siphon damage starts to be low, which makes like stacking furthermore even more complicated. And also your tankiness is not as strong, which means that fighting is even more complicated. But if you're super on top of your stack game, well, Sevarog is a really, really, really strong tank. So here we finished the Helafrost, we started to work towards the Flux Matrix. And here, once again, we're gonna look a little bit at what we can do with that mini prime. But before, we're just gonna secure like these 2 camp. Fangtus is respawning pretty soon, so we probably look at something. And once again, here you can see like he wait to get like those 2 more stack. And here, you know, he's super strong, like no hesitation. We dash in, we try like to get a Subjugate immediately because we know that we're stronger. And why he's stronger? Because like he's 5-1, but also because he has been farming like very, very, very efficiently. So we're super strong. And so that means that now we zone like people away and we're gonna start a Fangtus. The enemy team is coming around to probably like try to contest, so that's gonna be like a little bit tough. Probably have to contest. We get like a pretty good damage. He's gonna like try to go immediately onto the dual lane that was coming. We get the colossal blow onto people. We're gonna turn like once again. You can see like how like every single fight Nugzlit is just like on top of that jungle. It doesn't let that carry play. Unfortunately, because of doing like this whole fight, he let the Fang Tooth like be taken by the enemy contest. But still, like he secure like a double kill for himself. He's gonna like chase onto that Rictor, and that's gonna be a triple kill. That's 15 stack in the pocket as well, because he also like pay attention to finishing people with the siphon. And so yeah, we're now in a super strong like position. We keep advancing and keep farming. Already level 11. Colossal Blue level 2 is now up. And here we're gonna like probably secure the red buff respawning, and that's gonna be it for this little skirmish. And now we're probably gonna look at like keep the farming going, and then like probably looking at the mini prime again once it's respawned. And so overall, you can see out of the 14 kills, he has been present on 9 of those kills, despite the fact that he put so much emphasis on like farming. And this is like where like this type of playstyle is at that solo queue level. It's still okay because like people are not really like creating to your very predictive like timing. And here you can see like you see the wards, but if he spend time on actually clearing the wards, it's gonna be like too late. So that's why like he skipped the ward. We're gonna go for the colossal blow, try to get some damage. We go also already like the Sapphire's Mantle has been used at the beginning of the fight, and here we try to deal as much damage. And as you can see also like Nugzlit kind of spacing himself properly to be able to follow up the Glacial Strike. And here we're gonna get like a kill, and that's like this aura being dead. And that's also something like I see a lot of jungle, every time they see a ward with their sentry, they say like, oh, I need to deward that. But sometimes the time you take to actually like dewarding is actually like too long. And here we can see like a lot of people onto Nugzlit is gonna tank a lot. And as we can see, like when you farm efficiently, at least like around like this 18-minute mark and stuff, like a Sevarog is still like pretty tanky. Like he walked into 3 people, still deal quite a lot of damage and escape with his life. So that's still like something you can do. Of course, you can't face check like 5 people and don't do anything, but if you find like those skirmishes, it's still like very, very, very efficient. And now we're back to farming a little bit. The whole blue side is up, so we're gonna get it. And here on that camp at 18 minute 44, we get like the full Reaper of Soul passive. 160 stack being collected per 20 minutes in the jungle. That's very impressive. Probably like a big portion of those stack is from kills that he got, but still it's very strong. And so now I get the mini prime, and now we can look at impacting the map with the mini prime. Jungle being like removed, and here we're looking at trying to find like maybe some aggression, or maybe contemplating using the explosive flower. We do miss the subjugate, but we can go aggressive. We're fighting this 1v2. We're strong enough, we're not really scared. But here we dash away while the aura was coming. We get a very nice subjugate. The cryo is being used, both getting stunned, and we get the aura. Ooh, the contest trying to go in, 1 HP on the aura, and we're gonna dive that, get the subjugate, dashing away. We're 1 HP. So we win this 2v2. But we have to be careful because the rest of the team is coming. The Rictor was there. We're trying to fight, and you can see like even with 1 HP, we're dodging. We got the skewer, and finally it's gonna be the death of that Sevarog, but not before you actually like remove like 60% of the health of that Rictor. And this whole skirmish like forced like the whole blue team, the Dawn side, to come like to defend 5 people to defend that tier 2 tower, which means that on the other side of the map, well, the Rictor is free to take like a tier 2 tower for himself. Still, that's a pretty huge shutdown to be found. I'm not sure who secured it in the enemy team, but Sevarog is still like being pretty strong. So now we're gonna get like the Sevarog respawning in a couple of seconds. Fangtooth is going to respawn, so you can see that the FaZe and the Murdock and all the team is like already like around. And so like Nugzlit is gonna like walk in that direction to be certain that he can be with his team if there is any contest of the enemy team. But as soon as the Fangtooth is secured, well, now we're back to farming. Of course, most of the jungle is up because he was dead. and so like there is like nothing to be secured. Our prime can be up, but before we go for it, probably like the team want to spend a little bit of gold. Like this Murdock got the tier 2 tower, we got the Fang 2, so there was like opportunity for there before we try to force anything. So you have a little downtime for yourself. And here we can see the dual lane is into a fight. We get like a trade, but we're gonna like work towards there. Gonna try to help the enemy jungle like flashed away to dodge the subjugate. We're just like gonna shrapnel cannon away, and here we're gonna secure another carry kill. And you can see like how Nugzlit is just like making Spin Meister life like kinda hell. And here we keep like aggressing because we know that we're super strong, and you can see like how like we're just pounding onto that phase, and we're like even a level down, but like it doesn't matter. Like Sevarog is pretty tanky at that point, like he's pretty big. We got like the 3 item and we force like 2 people away, we get like multiple flash away, and so now it's gonna be like if we want like a time to reset, and we created like a lot of map pressure. Like we kind of make the enemy team like very scared to walk out, and so now we're just gonna go for the reset and walk towards the opposite side of the map to maybe like start preparing an All Prime if we want. Of course, we always like check if jungle was up, and I think the blue buff is responding because Nugzlit is staying around. And you can see like even like those buff, like they still like died pretty quick despite the fact that we're kind of like a tank, thanks to the advantage of the Fire Blossom, Ella Frost, but also the fact that we're like very like well ahead in terms of like the stacking game, which means that our Siphon does like pretty good amount of damage. Here a little trap, and you can see like just like the initial burst is pretty good, but he realized that the real target is the contest. Like this aura is pretty tanky, and so it just like completely ignored this aura, as you can see, to go like for this contest, but the contest kind of missed like the jump. Ooh, and so now we're gonna go for it, and that's also something that I feel like Nugzlit is doing like pretty good. He doesn't like lose time on target that takes a while to kill. Like his job is to like be a big nuisance on the target that are like kind of squishy, that cannot kill himself, and just like stop those targets to be able to go on his own squishies. He understands his job as a tank. As a tank is not like to face like another like bruiser or tank and just like spamming attack for like 15 seconds. No, you go for the decisive action and just like kill like those squishies, because the squishy cannot kill him back. Here we can see like he's already like at 30% health. He's gonna like get pulled away. We're gonna get like some good damage, and you can see like the amount of damage he's dealing. Now we got the Sapphire's Mantle like to survive, and this aura thought that she could go on him, but with the help of the phase, it's a little bit too much to chew, and that's gonna be an aura that was like full health against like this Sevarog that was at 30% HP, and in the end Sevarog is at 20% HP and aura is dead. Once again, like tanks can be like very strong if you don't like take wrong fights, in a sense. Of course, if you try like to frontline everything, it's not gonna work, but still like it still requires quite a lot of resources to be able to shut you down. And that's also like maybe one thing that Nugzlit, like I focus so much on the carry, now that I think about it, is because like carry can be like the tank buster, but if the enemy carry is actually behind, that's unfortunate, Nugs. You have to go around now. And here we're gonna secure like this All Prime, because like the enemy team has 2 people that are dead thanks to that pool, which means that it's very complicated for the enemy team to actually like enter the pit. Nugzlit like not zoning, of course he has the hunt, wants to secure that. Don't risk anything when you don't have to, and now you can simply like kind of use this All Prime to secure the game for yourself. Here we have a little bit of timing before the Primal Fang Tooth respawn, so you can look like to get like some picks. And here that's exactly what we're looking, we're fetching. We're gonna find like this contest, and this contest like has enough, and that's the enemy team like surrendering on that timing as soon as this contest dies. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.